So what's the next step then with your suspension with the Labour Party? Are you ever going to find out what you're being accused of? Are we going to find out what you've been accused of and who accused you? Or is this going to be a situation where you go to a court of law and they say you're guilty and you say what of, and they say robbery, and they say when, and you when and who saw me, and they say, oh no, we're not going to tell you any of that. You're just going there. Because that's just a kangaroo court, and there really is no process, is there?
I think they'll just try and get rid of me. I mean, not get rid of me. They'll try and keep me quiet. I mean, they know if I go to meetings, I'm going to be pushing up motions and stuff like that, and they don't want me doing the invitational stuff. This is just a means of keeping me quiet, really. And I can't go to meetings, so I can't argue. I can't put forward motions. I can't criticise JLM. I couldn't have done anything about their recent motion. It's just a way to get me off the scene. That's what's happening, I think.
Well, that's a very democratic thing to do, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how long it'll last. Obviously, I think Jackie Walker was suspended for a couple of years, but it's just their way of taking you out of the game. But I mean, I don't know what. I mean, to be honest, it's irritating and it's upsetting because I was very involved in my CLP. Was doing a lot of stuff for them. I was thinking order down the barbecue. I got barbecue in the back garden. I bought bloody barbecue and got everything planned to.
Oh, you were going to host?
Around. Yeah, hosting the barbecue, the summer barbecue. But I can't do that now. He's suspended. No one's allowed to talk to me practically. That's the problem, isn't it? It's stupid.
It's the universe telling you to go vegan, mate, and save the planet. That's what it is.
What about vegan burgers? It's just there's forces at work that just want me taken out of the equation, and they think, well, we'll suspend him, and that'll brand him as even more of a troublemaker. Oh no, you don't get suspended without good reason. It's crap.
Yeah, it sounds ridiculous. I can't get over the fact that you've been suspended and they still haven't told you why, or the instance that you've been suspended under. It's kind of like when I get a copyright strike from YouTube. It's frustrating because you get a copyright strike or they demonetize you, and then they never tell you exactly why they've demonetized you. They just say, we've demonetized this video, and you say to them, well, why? And they just, it's not suitable. And it's sort of, I get the feeling that that's what that's how frustrated it is for you, because you don't know what you're being accused of, but you don't know exactly the instance it is, and you also don't know who your accuser is. You don't know. Do you even know the date you said it on?
Well, they said it was something to do with my GMB hearing. So I said something at my GMB hearing, God knows what. I think that they'll have something cooked up. It'll be something that I said that's a bit contentious. Like, I imagine it's about saying Israel exaggerated the Holocaust for political ends. I think that'll be what it's about, because I think they would want to suspend me for saying that, because they'll say, "Oh, you're a Holocaust denier," and I'm saying, "Well, that's a lot of bollocks." But,
I've heard ex-Israeli members of Parliament say that exact thing.
Well, yeah,
I've heard them say that exact thing.
But the problem is that the Labour Party, it's an excuse, because people think I went beyond the pale by saying that. I mean, it's not just breaching the IHRA. There's a lot of ways to breach the IHRA. That's probably one of the most contentious ways.
Well, did you say that? Did you say that, or did you point to somebody else's argument? Because this is something else.
I said that Israel exaggerates the Holocaust for political ends. Now, exaggerates means they overemphasize it. They keep harping on about it. 70, 80 years after it happened, acting as if the Palestinians are as bad as the Nazis. I mean, this is nuts. But so they use the Holocaust to justify everything they do. Which, Holocaust was a terrible thing, but one Holocaust doesn't justify another.
Yeah, there's something. When you called me yesterday and talked to me, do you want to go into do you want to start talking about that now? Because
well, it's a good intro to what's
you've got something. Yeah, just following on from that, you've got something coming up, haven't you? Is it on Saturday? Did you say it was?
it's Labour Against the Witch Hunt are having a meeting on Saturday, and I was going anyway because I was going to go and sort of hawk this laser thing, Labour Against Zionist, and that was, the reason I was going. And then as I was submitting that, and also one about twinning Edinburgh with Gaza, as I was saying, they said, "Oh well, actually, there's a motion for your expulsion." They sent me an email. There's a motion for your expulsion. This was a few days ago. I thought, bloody hell, what is going on? I was quite shocked, and I think it was. Well, they said it was this. What happened was it was the steering group that wanted it. There's 4 of them, but 2 of them, Stan and Tina, said to Tony and Jackie Walker, "Look, you can't just kick him out like that. You'll have to put it to the members." And so that's why it's going to a meeting. I mean, on the 5th of January, they expelled a group called Socialist Fight. They didn't give them a hearing. They didn't get a chance. They were just booted out. And I thought I was the first, but no, I found out yesterday that I'm not the first. Socialist Fight were done earlier the year. So the Labour Against the Witch Hunt are certainly getting into the idea of witch hunting themselves. Socialist Fight were booted out, and now they're having a go for me. But my case, luckily, is going before a members' meeting, which is good in a way because it means the members decide, rather than just Jackie Walker and Tony, who would have me out in a minute, I think.
But this, it's just, it enters the realm of stupidity now.
Yeah, well,
this silly. Is right. Okay. Let me get my head around this, because honestly, you spoke to me about this yesterday and I still haven't got my head around it. You've been suspended for an allegation of anti-Semitism of which you don't know exactly what the allegation is, and you don't know essentially when you're going to find out what it is or who it's from, essentially. Right? Now, I've spoken to you. Now, if I got a tiniest inkling that you were anti-Semite, I wouldn't be talking to you like right now. I really wouldn't. However, you're definitely an anti-Zionist, and that, I'm with you 100%. Now, this whole anti-Semitism argument has got so screwed up and fucked up in the media and in the consciousness now of the public, that you've got Jackie Walker, who I know for a fact was just booted out of the Labour Party unceremoniously, much in the same way that they are trying to do the same to you now. And she's not on your side through all this?
Well, I don't know. They say they're still... and they say I shouldn't be expelled from Labour. I mean, they've got that on their website. But they want to expel me. I think you need to kind of work back through Tony's influence, Tony Greenstein, who's quite a campaigner. He's been doing this for 30 years or something, all his life. And he's very knowledgeable. And I think when I first started getting into this back in August, September, when the IHRA was adopted, I was actually writing to him, of course, saying, Tony, can you give me advice, or can you mention me on your blog or something like that? And eventually, kind of mid-November time, or no, 30th of October it was, he said, well, send me something. And I sent him something, and I'd copied it to the Clarion. Have you heard of the Clarion? It's a sort of momentum rag. And they'd picked on one line in it, which said, Jews have leverage because of the Holocaust. Well, I was saying Jews have got so much leverage in this country, they could call for the beification of Maggie Thatcher, and we'd have to take them seriously. It was it was a kind of provocative thing to say. But I was saying the reason they've got leverage in this country is because of the Holocaust. In the same way in Scotland, we've got leverage over you English guys because you give us £1 billion a year. I'm in a job because of the leverage we've got over you, which is largely because of centuries of racism since you cut our Queen's head off, But anyway, we'll put that aside for now.
The problem I've got with that, and it's not necessarily a problem because it's not necessarily that I think you're doing anything wrong by having that statement. I don't think you're actually doing anything wrong. What I'm thinking, or the reason, the problem I suppose I've got with that is there any real need for the sort of like the talk, knowing that is going to inflame them?
Well, this is important to see. So for me, the big thing is the IHRA definition. Why have a third of all councils taken on? Why have all the unions taken on? Why have all the political parties taken on? Why is this?
Honestly, Pete, I honestly don't think they understand. Well, I don't think they understand the ramifications of just how bad it can be and can get.
Well, I've got my theory. My theory, it's Holocaust guilt. People feel so guilty about what we did to the Jews during the war, the first half of last century. I mean, the Jews got a pretty crappy service from Britain. You know, we wouldn't let them in when Hitler was trying to get them before the war. We had so many laws stopping the Jews coming in, and we didn't do bog all about the concentration camps during the war. We could have done a lot more to stop them. We didn't. Churchill refused. Jan Karski came from Poland in 1942, sent by the Jewish resistance to tell Churchill. Churchill refused to see him. He was too busy, and he was trying to tell him about Auschwitz, but Churchill wasn't interested. Churchill wanted Israel, but he didn't give a toss about Jews in Europe. He just wanted Israel as a sort of colonial project of his own. So there was a lot of stuff going on. We treated the Jews pretty badly. You know, when I think it was uncovered.
We treat everybody badly, mate.
No, but wait a minute. When it was uncovered, what Hitler had done, and the millions of people he gassed and murdered and shot, and I mean, the awful things that happened that came out about 1946, people began to think, oh, yeah, well, we didn't really do much to help. And there is a guilt. I think there is a guilt. People feel bad about you know, Jews, the most persecuted race in history. I mean, that's the way that it's not now, I don't think, but in the past, you know.
But you saying that, if you saying that there is people do feel guilt about, I mean, you know, if you saying that is anti-Semitic, is that what they're? Is that what is there? Are they saying that you saying that is anti-Semitic?
Well, you know what they said at the time was you can't. You're making a generalization about all Jews. You can't do that. And I'm saying, but Hitler didn't care which Jews.
But they're making a generalization about all Jews by saying by conflating Israel with Jewish people.
I'm talking about Labour Against the Witch Hunt. So this was Tony Greenstein's position. So when I said, you know, Jews have leverage because of the Holocaust, he's saying you're making a generalization about all Jews. You can't do that. And I'm saying, well, Hitler didn't care who he gassed. It was all Jews. The only people who exploit it are the Zionists. So there's some Jews that exploit it, the Zionists, but all Jews have the leverage. But most Jews don't want to use it. They just want to get on and live their lives. You know, they want to go on and do their things. They don't want to be reminded about the Holocaust all the time. But the IHRA's job is to remind everyone of the Holocaust all the time. That's what they're there for, is to tell people. That's what my kids get in school every month. What are you doing in school today? The Holocaust. Their job is to keep the Holocaust alive. That's their job, the IHRA. That's their purpose. And on the back of that, it's about promoting Israel. Because so long as you keep thinking about the Holocaust, you keep thinking, oh, blimmin' hell, we do need Israel because Jews aren't safe anywhere else. It's the psychology, isn't it? They want people to go to Israel. Netanyahu wants more and more Jews to move to Israel. The whole idea that Jews aren't safe. He needs more Jews in Israel because otherwise he's going to be outnumbered by the Muslims. So there's a lot of stuff going on. It's a lot deeper than people think. The politics and the way that emotions are used and the way that historical wrongs are used and abused again and again and again to keep Israel afloat, which is the most racist country in the world. But yet we're not allowed to say so. Astonishing.
If you like this video and you want to see more, please subscribe and click the bell below so you get a notification of when I drop further videos. If you click the links on the screen as well through to my website, you can find out ways to support me. I can't do this without your help, and I really do appreciate it. Thanks very much for all your support, and until next time, peace and take care.